We are recording. Okay, so it's 5:47.
Julie, your video is working. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, roll call. Chair Reese Adams.
Present.
David Carroll.
Present.
Kyle Conrad.
Present.
Okay. Martin Gilmore.
Present.
Julie Parker.
Present.
And we have Englewood Schools Liaison Emily Ancona.
Present.
Staff, we have Director Christina Underhill, Library and Cultural Arts Manager Mark Mullis, and Englewood Event Supervisor Toni Arnoldy. Excused is Councilmember Wink. And got everybody covered. Thanks.
Thanks. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the agenda and approval thereof. And if I could get a motion.
You know, oh, sorry. The one thing I realized I did not include was the Romans Park mushroom. So I'm going to add that and do a correction on it.
It's on here.
It's on here.
The,
That you guys voted.
Yeah, oh, that we voted.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
This is correct that we moved for the bike racks out of Cultural Arts Commission, now the city take them over at that.
Correct. I'm gonna talk about that.
Okay. So with that, I would make a motion that, well, can we approve as amended?
yes.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. No public comment tonight. Okay, we're going to move on to the new business for the election of the new vice chairperson. For those of you who haven't been here for a few weeks, Clarice Ambler had to step down. She moved out of Englewood, so was no longer eligible to be on the commission. So wanted to open it up in the event that anybody would be interested or like to nominate another.
I wouldn't be interested in doing it unless somebody else wants to.
I will officially nominate Mark.
Okay.
Anyone else? All right.
Do we need a second on
Wait
that?
a second.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
We have to vote?
Yep. And all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Any opposed? No. I think Julie said aye, right?
I said aye.
Okay.
On mute.
Yep. All right. Welcome, Martin.
Woohoo.
Woohoo.
Yay, more work.
All right, on to the old business. Speaking of Martin, do you want to take it away with the bike racks?
Yeah, I sent a message to the city manager about the bike racks, and he agreed that they should not be in the Cultural Arts Commission, but he did not, I have not heard back from him about a suggestion of what to do with them. So I want to make a motion at this point, I can't remember if we did this, but I want to make sure that we put it in. I want to make a motion to discontinue maintenance on that and move that money somewhere else, which is a discussion we probably have to have.
Yeah.
But I just want to make a motion to do that we're going to cease restoration on the bike racks.
Firm second on that.
So, but point of clarification, if if it's no longer going to be our preview,
Right.
then in part it does not matter because whoever it goes to, if it
Yeah.
goes to Parks and Rec,
It
you
has-
guys then would
I
make
think,
that
I think
decision.
we still have it at this point in time. I don't think any of that has happened. But I guess it doesn't, you're right, it doesn't matter.
I mean,
This makes it official.
Yeah.
It just makes it official that then we can move that money elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it doesn't matter, but.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, I'm good with it.
All right.
So then
I'll
we
second
take a
it.
vote.
Let's take a vote. In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. that was the other reason I wanted to sit maybe on the transportation board, not that it would fall necessarily within transportation, but I don't know, they may be talking about it at some point.
We had an internal discussion, so parks will probably remove the worst of. There's no point in restoring because they're out of a catalog,
Yeah.
not designed by an artist. You see these, actually, I was searching for where to buy new ones.
Oh, we have the link.
Do you?
Yeah.
They're a little different than those, but
Yeah, they've changed, because I did find one that was similar, but like New York has them, they
Yeah,
were in New
actually,
Orleans.
DU has this, almost, I think, the
Yeah.
new versions of them.
So we probably will just take out the worst, we are gonna work with the DDA, they may have a new vision for what they want down there, so that
Perfect,
might be a whole new thing.
perfect.
These guys will become scrap metal.
is there anything else that we need to do with that then?
Nope. Yeah, you can repurpose whatever money we've set aside for restoration of these to put towards a different project.
Okay, awesome. Oh, that's great. That kind of frees up a lot because that was a pretty big chunk.
13,000.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to go ahead and move on to, art maintenance plans? We talked about that last time, Martin, or last month.
Yeah, I don't really have any progress on that, other than I think we should just, what we need to do is come up with a way to kind of stay on top of art maintenance so that as all of us cycle out of this, that this continues to happen. So, kind of, I don't really have it completely thought out, but I was thinking we could maybe come up with a yearly meeting or whatever, where we just go and look at each one of the artworks and kind of assess it as a commission. So we can keep, I don't know that we need to pay AMPA every 5 years to go and look at this stuff, if we can go look at it ourselves and see what we think of it.
I agree. Now, the list of all of our art is probably, will need to be updated, I guess, with the horses, and I don't think there was anything last year, so probably just horses at this juncture. And then, I know, Christina, you said that they're gonna do like a GIS diagram. This is, my verbiage for this is like,
Perfect.
right, of like where everything is.
Yeah.
So I think that would be helpful to add with this, and then we can maybe start tackling it. I don't mind actually taking some of the, just chunking it out and just walking some of it and just looking,
Yeah.
even if it's like before this meeting or after this meeting. It's going to get dark soon, so it's probably not a good idea, but and then just kind of looking at it, but, because I think a lot of it, once you kind of have an idea, once we have the first pass at it, we'll kind of know if it's gonna be something we're gonna have to look at again, like within a year or
Yeah.
so, and then kind of just keep track of it, and some of it's, I mean, it might be good to look through some of the photography and whatnot, but,
Well, and we could just turn it into even a, like celebrating Englewood's art, like an art tour.
Yes.
Something like that, just as an excuse to go and look at it.
yeah, I think that's fine.
See what's there. But just so that we can kind of stay on top of that art maintenance, I wanted to make a plan for that. The bike racks were the last thing on our list that needed immediate attention.
All right, so we can move into kind of this, yeah,
Okay.
go.
Yeah, well, I wanted to ask Julie her thoughts on this as well. I slightly disagree with us going through it, because I do think a professional conservator would be able to spot things that we would not. And I don't know, Julie, am I off base on
Yeah,
that?
I get a little bit of an echo here, so can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking a couple of things. Like David said, like, somebody like me might have a little bit more of an idea of what to look for, but I could also like write something up and say like, this is what you might be looking for if there was a problem, if we want us to do it ourselves as commissioners. But then my other thought was like, maybe it would be nice to not have like official photographs, but like each year just snap a picture of it if you are walking around, because then we can compare how things are changing over time too. So it might be something to refer back to. I don't know how much AMPA charges
That's
for
my question.
that service.
4,000.
4,000, yes.
For, again, like I said, like, David's right. There may be things that that we might pick up on, as a conservator, somebody like me might pick up on sooner, but I also think it's something that we can have just kind of a heads up, look out for this, that, and the other thing. Checklist, a checklist, yeah, like with each object on it and what's been done and, you know, what to look out for. I think that would be doable as well. Thanks.
Yeah, I think that's good, because I think if, as collectively, if we were to kind of do some of it ourselves, we might be able to do an AMPA review every so many years, 5 years or whatever, so that, you know.
That would be, I think I would feel better about that if, you know, there was a not every year, like you said.
No.
But maybe as some professional looks, I just think for some of the professional pieces,
Oh, yeah, no, I
they
think that's
might
important.
catch something in a base or something that's right that you may not see.
Oh, and remind me though, when was the last time AMPA looked at it?
2017.
Oh, so we're,
It's about that time, but they've already gone through it, so I think you're okay for a while, but maybe you said it every 5, 10. But I mean, they caught things that we didn't, you know,
oh, yeah.
when we looked at and we didn't understand as well. So
They did the thing or did the review in 2017, but a lot of the work took place in the last couple of years.
Right, right.
So I don't think we're due for any of that. We can, maybe in 5 years, we can do it again
Okay.
from now.
Yeah,
But I just think we need to go and look at them every year and kind of make a point to do that.
okay.
And you may not always have somebody like Julie on
Right.
this commission that
And
knows how to.
Julie, you have a copy of all of the artwork, right?
I'm sure I do somewhere, but if there's a
Okay.
link, that having that map with the list is super helpful.
We don't have a map yet, but we have the list, and it is broken out pretty nicely, of where they are located and the work type. So that will at least give us kind of a starting point for chunking it out by type. Metal, photography, whatever it might be.
Yeah. Well, maybe I can sit down and talk with you or Martin or whoever would like to. And I mean, I'm happy to share what knowledge I have about things to be looking out for. Since I am here, like, you know, might as well take advantage of that.
That's fine. I think we just need to like come up with a plan for that. So that's all I wanted to talk about.
So probably maybe like we sit down before the end of the year, go through, and it doesn't have to be in this form, does it? If we can do it separately to just talk through, let's just pick a time when we can get together, talk through it.
As long as we record the meeting, is that?
Yeah, if it's going to be 3 or more.
Yeah, that's what I was
we
wondering.
need to,
Okay.
yeah,
Record it?
just post it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
Do we just need to post it or do you need us to record it?
Well, yeah, we could,
We can
we
record
could just
it.
do the recorder.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
to record it.
Yep, that's fine. Okay, we'll do that. Let's see. Oh yes, block party. I'm only gonna quickly mention this because I know Tony's going to, you know what, let's just forget the block party portion because I know Tony is gonna talk about it in the upcoming event section. So I think, but what I'll say about that is I think due to sort of our resource constraint and time constraint right now, we just forego it for this year. I think it was just so difficult because the decision to even have the block party was so late, and then being able to figure out what it is COVID-wise and who's doing what, that I just don't think we're in a position, and I don't think anybody disagrees, I don't think I'm speaking out of school here, that we're not going to be able to pull it together, so I say we.
I have an idea though.
Okay, is it free?
Maybe. But just get a piece of big plywood, cut it into the shape of a Swedish horse and paint it with that chalkboard paint. That was my
Who
idea.
do you think could facilitate that, though?
I have a piece of plywood in my basement.
Do you have the artistic
To
and,
cut it, I can draw it, I can probably do it. I have a jigsaw.
I just know that I will not be able to commit to putting something together in a 2-week time frame. And I don't want you to have to either.
I don't know if I could necessarily do it by myself, but if I could probably do it.
I think we might have other opportunities this year to do things, and so I think,
That was my one idea that I came up with, but
Okay.
I'm not.
Not a
like-
bad idea.
I'm not
but-
Yeah, but I think the Swedish horses will be on display, because I'll give Tony all of our display photos, and it has like a little piece with the artist's information on it, so.
A couple of them are going to be right in the middle. So
Yeah, exactly.
it'll be interesting to see how they last, I suppose, without many people around. As long as they do.
At least the ones I know that are kind of in that main area, artists have, well, they all have a good sense of humor, so they'll be fine. All right, and then pop-up concerts.
Yes, they went pretty well. Not like, we got probably 35, on average about 35 engagements. Not everybody would stay and listen, but some people sat through the whole thing and listened. But I was thinking for next year, maybe changing the model of that and doing something more kind of public that would be like concerts in like the picnic pavilions around the parks or something like that, because there were a few of the groups that were really cool, jazz music, and I thought that might be a cool setting. And I really I like to pay the artists, but it would be nicer if we had some kind of promo that we could do. And just, it would be better, I think, if they were more public and we could put them in those picnic pavilions.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Cool thing. So that was going to be my proposal, is that instead of the pop-up concerts for next year that we would pay the artists the same, but then do concerts in the pavilions, and maybe we could find ways that they could sell merch and all that stuff. So just as a little detail. So I just wanted to review the thing.
Well, and I think, remind me, were they on Monday nights or Tuesday?
Yes, and I try to do that because those are nights that musicians don't have other gigs.
Well, I was gonna say, because sometimes some of the parks on Monday nights, there's some pretty big groups of like soccer and stuff that starts at like 6, and so if you actually started it at 4:30 or 5, you might actually get like kind of a lot of people before some of those big events in the parks.
So anyway, Christine, I'll talk to you more about that for next summer, but I thought that.
So I think when we started them too, we were hoping it might inspire other musicians to just, I guess I got 2 questions, pop up and do that throughout our city in general, like other cities have. One, do we know, would that even be legal in our city? I mean, would you need to get if we had musicians, in some cities, right, the musicians have to get a permit to do whatever. I don't know if our city requires that, or if we had that. We don't know. And if we don't know, that's fine. I just didn't know something we could.
I don't know if that.
I don't know, but if it's in a park, I know a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
But I
can,
just wondered-
but just like street performers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything.
But
I feel like if we,
Would that even be legal?
my question is COI, a certificate of insurance, like if they were to
Yeah,
get hurt, but if we're not paying them and we're,
right, they're just doing it on their own.
You know what I mean? I mean, you go to some
Yeah.
cities and they're just
Yeah,
musicians kind of on corners and they're just trying to make a buck. They're just.
right, I mean, 16th Street Mall is a perfect
Yeah,
example of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
People do it at Walmart.
I do think Denver requires permits as well to do that, but I just didn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd be curious to know how many actually pull a permit to go sit out there.
That's true.
I never have, but
Maybe nobody chases them.
You never have.
I don't do that very often anymore.
And my second
Kinda the-
question, do you think it was interesting enough for the musicians to have something like that in our city, or just not really?
Possibly.
I mean, I agree with you to changing the whole format.
Yeah,
I just-
possibly. I mean, I like that idea. I think that that's cool, and, we could probably start prompting some of that. I could probably start prompting that. If we figure out like what the permits take, I could just call some friends and say, hey.
I was just
do that.
hoping it
That
would
one-
musicians would start popping up in our city and just do it fun and cool.
Yeah, I don't know, like
I don't know.
the big hangups that we had at the pop-up concerts was like the permit for this spot right down here, hard to get. And then we just ended up playing down there without a permit, which I didn't realize was an
just
issue.
need to plan.
Yeah, so we
way
need to
in
plan
advance
that
for
more
what we
better
do
than
here.
we did. So I don't know, yeah, that's something we can,
I mean, I don't know if we have to take it off. I think we were just hoping that people might see it and musicians might see it and go, oh, I gotta do that in this city or do something. And then we just have musicians popping up all over.
Yeah, we'll do a little research and see
Yeah,
if
see if-
permits
I mean,
needed
but
or.
if no permits are needed, I'll just start calling people.
Just
Well,
tell
yeah.
people, come out and start playing
Yeah.
in random spaces.
Yeah, totally,
Ask
because
it.
even like on the medical corridor at like 4:30, it is hopping,
Yeah.
people leaving. So,
That'd be a good place.
You know what I mean?
During
Yeah.
the, when they did those Englewood Pops concerts, we did some of those in the medical in the morning, and they were
Oh,
so
yeah, that's true.
appreciative
Mm-hmm.
of that. But
Cool.
It's kind of in line when I first started in this position, I brought lunch on the lawn.
Yeah.
And that's, the whole model behind that was, a me type of person set that up where they, work with the restaurants or whatever, and they go get a bag lunch, and it highlights different restaurants or whatever, but they would have, a different artist playing during that lunch hour all the time. And it was always, kind of like an open mic type thing, kind of like what you're talking about. And I think I can definitely look into that with Lorna and Heather,
Yeah.
if
check with them
you're cool with
first.
that.
Yeah.
But picnic in the park, lunch on the lawn,
Yeah.
the other thing, though,
whatever.
you make a good point that, I mean, there's probably, if you organize it right, there's probably liability and all that you've got to worry about. I was just kind of hoping, it would
I
just,
think if
you
it's
know,
something on the side,
like if
we'll
they-
find out though about
Yeah.
permits and.
I'll see, yeah, or
Yeah,
musicians
totally.
just pop up and just play. Just
Yeah.
kind of-
We're all derelicts anyway.
Just hoping that would happen.
Might be a forgiveness versus permission type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did not hear that.
I like
didn't
that,
hear
I like that kind of stuff, just, like, this is something we had talked about early on, a lot of times, like, these committees are all about acquiring physical art, but then the maintenance
Yeah.
costs go up, so, like, trying to, inspire more of that performance.
Yep.
That was probably,
I like that too.
and events and stuff like that, I know it's not 100% what we should do, but, anyway, that's it, that's all I had.
Awesome. Okay, Tony, for upcoming events.
Are you skipping this?
Skip the
Oh, wait.
municipal code.
Oh, the
That's
municipal
fine with
code.
us.
Oh my gosh, I'm
That's
so
important.
sorry. So going back to the municipal code, kind of on our to-do list, I know Martin and I have sort of talked about doing that together. And it's just something that we need to get together and do. So,
Yeah, I think we just need to form a subcommittee. to
I agree.
do that. So that's why I sent that email.
And if the two of them do it, then there's no requirements, correct?
Correct.
It's two.
Okay,
So I was gonna offer my help, but I don't wanna cause all that problems with
I
the
understand.
meetings and stuff, so
I
if You guys
understand.
just did it.
Okay,
that would be
okay.
fine with me.
So Martin, it sounds, unless there's any other volunteers
that's
for
what- that's
municipal code writing.
Yeah.
All right, well, then in that case, I guess you and I can just get together and start hacking away at that. Is that good?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. And I have a lot of examples from other cities that we can pretty much just, we don't have to reinvent the wheel for a lot of it, but I do think it's important to have things written out as far as how to apply, what the intent of the CAC is, incorporating the art maintenance or the art plan, and just a little bit broader vision to help steer.
I just wanted it brought up in
Strategy.
case other people wanted to be on the subcommittee.
Okay, yeah, no, there's, people are not clamoring.
Yeah, it's not the most exciting.
I mentioned it to somebody at Celebrate Englewood, and they were like, oh, yeah, I forget you have to do stuff like that. It's like,
The art maintenance subcommittee and the municipal code subcommittee. It's really exciting.
all right. So, okay, sorry, municipal code done. Toni, upcoming events.
So we have the block party obviously coming up. Well, not before, tomorrow night is the Army National Guard Wind and Jazz Bands at the amphitheater. So just a little plug to invite everyone. And then the September 10th is the silent disco. The 15th is our makeup concert from the water disaster. And then the 18th is the block party. So tons of fun to be had. And then we will do 2 outdoor markets. The first Saturday, October, November, and December. October and December are outside. October's is the grow and gather area. December's is at the tree lighting, and then October's is the holiday bazaar. November is the holiday bazaar at the Malley Center. So those are exciting. And then the holiday tree lighting is our final big event of the year. And just talking with Christina and Allison and a little bit with Reese about maybe that is something that this group would be interested in helping with. I had kind of mentioned a singing Christmas tree, but I got the cost back for that, and we will not be doing a singing Christmas tree.
How much was it?
10 to 15,000.
Does anybody want to dress in a tree?
I'm like, well, I was gonna mention that for 10,000, I would be a singing Christmas tree, so.
1,000.
But I would love to have, your guys' involvement in that type of event, and there's a lot of different ways that we could do it. Before I kind of pitch any of those ideas, though, I did want to mention that at the block party, I completely understand that you guys are all don't have the capacity to do something like that, and I did want to say that I would be honored and love to have the horses on display like we had at One Barrel, maybe become involved with Cultural Arts Commission with a link to the website, something like that. We'll have an Englewood table, we have a police table, we're gonna have tables all over. So we can definitely do that, and I would be happy to do that, and I'm always, I'm honored to be a part of the Swedish Horse Project because I think that's just awesome and cool and amazing. So if that, I completely understand. But I would love to have your participation in any of the other events, especially the holiday tree lighting. I will admit I selfishly a little bit want your involvement as well, because we will be tasked as a city because we have the Holiday Express going on at the same time. So our resources are very maxed out.
What's the timetable, like time for each, when does one start, or is it kind of, do they overlap totally?
Yeah, the tree lighting market-esque thing is more of a noon to 6, 2 to 6 type event. It's during the day.
That's on Saturday, December 4th.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With the tree lighting being at 5:30, and then everything will conclude by 6.
Okay.
The train is
It's the,
4 to 9 or 5 to 9 to the Holiday Express. I'm not 100% sure
Go
on.
to 9 o'clock at night.
no,
Isn't it like 3:30 to
8,
or something?
3 to 8 maybe.
I think, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think the last ride's at 8. I think it was just
Yeah.
the end time.
We were debating on the time, so I think.
Okay, yeah, I was just curious.
It seems like in the past for the tree lighting thing that we have paid for music for, or for maybe that was for a chamber thing.
I actually have invited, I reached out to the band and the choir to see if either, or both, would be interested. I would love the choir to sing, I would love the drum line or the band to march around the circle playing. Haven't heard back from either of them yet, but I just sent the email yesterday. Clarice shared their emails, and I'm like, hi, this is me, and so I'm just hoping to hear back from them, because I was interested to see too if the drumline was, would be interested in coming to the block party and doing, walking around a couple times.
That'd be cool too.
There's a new band director this year.
Yes, and so that's what she sent, as soon as the school went back into, and they kind of got settled a little bit, she sent me their emails, and so I just reached out to them this week. Yeah, so I'm really, haven't done a lot of thinking around the holiday event as of yet. Still just making sure that Public Works is helping, doing the tree. And I just do know that in our conversation within Parks, Rec, Library, and Golf, during our team meeting, it was discussed that both events are definitely doable. We just have to be mindful that they're happening at the same time. Lindsay and I are working strongly to cross-promote to encourage one to go to the other. But I would love to have you guys as part of that if you're interested.
So we could, just spitballing here, but we could take the $1,000 or so that we had kind of set aside for the block party and maybe do something for tree lighting that's, what you need, like whether it's, s'mores kits or hot chocolate, or there's even a potential for a not a
Horse and carriage.
horse and carriage. But maybe if between now and the next meeting, if you have contacts for those, we could just price them, and then we can, you're not gonna be here next meeting, but
We can do Swedish horses and put the chalkboard.
I like that you're all committed though to the Swedish horses. I mean, that's, you know.
Like, hey, we just did that. Let's-
I know. So, but since it's gonna be at night, or kind of afternoon, yeah. 2 to 6. So anyway, so if we could just maybe price out a couple options, and then next meeting's October. I guess we could, if we needed to, push it to November for a vote, because if we have an idea, you know, kind of what those price points look like. But then we're locked and loaded early enough. Does that sound like it's feasible?
Because if Marvin's not gonna be here, then we won't have a quorum.
Won't have a quorum.
Correct? But we wouldn't find out if,
We may with,
We may have Kyle, if he could,
so
yeah,
then that, we could have, so. it just
Possible.
depends.
it's possible.
So, okay, so we'll find out.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
And you're gone the whole month?
I'm just gone for the one night of our meeting.
Convenience.
Yeah.
So that meeting on Tuesday, just kidding.
Yeah, I can meet it on.
I was gonna say, well, if we want, I suppose. Yeah,
Yeah, I suppose that could be a possibility.
if Kyle. yeah.
If we're, yeah, but if we have to, maybe we can work that out too.
Yeah, I can meet on Thursday night, but not.
The October market is on the 2nd? The
What-
first
mhm.
Friday,
The
first
first
Saturday?
Saturday. Mhm. And that will be in the Swedish area at Grow and Gather.
Okay. Okay, well, I think that's much more doable. It makes me less stressed than having to figure out the block party in 2 weeks, so I'll let you be stressed about that instead.
And I did want to, if I can add one more thing, I would love to propose having a conversation more about reaching out to some of the artists that you all have contacts with about possibly designing maybe the 2022 volunteer t-shirt. We're hoping in 2022 to have a t-shirt that will be used by volunteers at all of the events, and that's about as far as I've gotten on it, is that I think a t-shirt would be cool, but I would love if it would.
You want to do a
grasp-
contest or something?
I don't know if it necessarily needs to be a contest. I'm open to anything. I just think it would be cool if it can kind of highlight the different parts of Englewood, whether it's a hospital, the spaceship bank, a Swedish horse, you know, the trolley, I just think it would be super cool. And I know that you guys deal with creative minds, and so you would be much better equipped to
We can
create
set
something like that than I would.
Would a contest, is that too heavy on, I mean, like when we did the horses and all the, is that just a pain to go through all that?
I mean, I don't think so.
Okay. Because I think the artists in town would love to.
Yeah.
Given the opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's great, and we can support it to the extent that, we can do the sort of front end, like on the web,
Like it was.
Yeah.
and gather up the submissions, then present it to you all for a vote, just like we did with the Swedish horses.
No, that's fine. I can,
For some criteria.
if you want to send me like the content, yeah, and the criteria, but, just send me the content that you want, like in an email format. And I guess at that point, just send links and whatever, like you would want me to send to our artist community, I can do that.
I can help you with that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're saying, you could just say Englewood Cityscape would be as fine, and some dimensions, I suppose.
Yeah.
We could try to figure out some dimensions and then,
How to apply,
yeah, and then we could do the how to
Yeah.
apply and all that.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
And that way you could get a
Totally.
handful of- And then if it becomes a regular thing, artists may want to,
yeah,
as well as get artists and things like that.
true.
Would that be, I think just open it up to other art, support it. Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Is that okay with you, Christina?
yeah, okay, that sounds good.
All right. Okay, so anything else on your end?
No, I appreciate you guys inviting me to be part of your events. Swedish Horses were great, and thanks for being at Celebrate this past weekend. And I will get with you about how I can help for the block party, and I'll look forward to hanging out with you all in December.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, let's move on. Staff's choice.
The Romans Park mushrooms are underway. First one's just about done. Debbie went out there today, right?
Pictures, yeah.
Yeah, and she took a few pictures, so.
Awesome.
How was the opening of the park?
It was good. We had a decent little turnout
That looks
and,
nice.
yeah, it's a fun little park,
I wanted to
so.
come
Oh,
back.
wow.
Here we go.
Oh, cool.
That's really good.
That looks so neat.
And then that's the backside.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Fun.
Little tail.
Our
He
tail.
still has to finish up around the base, he said, but
Yeah.
Oh, those are gonna be great.
said
That
the
park
next
looks
one's
so nice now.
yeah,
It's all
he,
Yeah, and the tennis courts are beautiful.
This is gonna I know people like the brown, but this is just gonna liven up the park
It
with
will.
more color and
That's,
I think kids are gonna love it too.
that's really smart.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's good.
Have any of our residents said anything?
I don't know, not yet. I mean, there's just the starting. So it's gonna take him a little while to do it because he does painting in general, like of buildings and stuff. So he kind of does this on his off hours. So I'm sure he'll be done by the end of this year. Knock this one out pretty quickly, so.
Nice.
That's
I'll
cool.
take my 2-year-old over and get
Yeah.
Yeah, have the 2-year-old give some comments. please.
Provide feedback.
Yeah.
So are are they like coating it then?
Yeah,
So that it's
he'll-
preserved?
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a professional painter, so he'll make sure it's taken care of. I don't think he wants to spend all this time to watch
Right.
it
Yeah.
wash away. But we'll find out quickly when it does.
So this is Julie. I have a question. I missed the last couple of meetings. So I was curious, who was the artist that painted this? Was this somebody who works for the city already, or did we get somebody to come in and do that?
Yeah, this is, actually, the money came from Keep Englewood Beautiful. They put 7,000 towards this project, so it wasn't coming out of the CAC's budget. And I forget the name of the artist. He, like I said, he's a commercial painter, and he actually was the one that went out and restored all of these and did new stucco and everything. And then in talking to staff, he said, I also paint other things than just solid paint colors, and can I give you some proposals? And so Amanda Wolf and this gentleman both gave their proposals, and the CAC board decided to go with this group, so.
Cool. They're lovely. I wanted to find out more about it. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So that's all I've got. We're excited to see this and can't wait to see the final on all of these.
Awesome. Commissioner's choice, nothing on my end, keep Englewood, or not keep Englewood, Celebrate Englewood, I think went really well, lots of positive feedback on the horses. People really wanted to talk about them a lot, so that was exciting. Yes, we handed out a lot of brochures,
Did you? Good.
but we still have a lot left, so we have them for other events, throughout the years if needed, so.
I'll take some on my 18th.
Okay, yeah. Anything else from the commission? David?
On September 22nd, if you commute to work on your bike, that is Bike to Work Day.
Okay.
And we are partnering, well, Chamber is partnering with the city. The city is doing, I think the city's done it most years, a bacon station in the morning. So if you ride your bike, you get bacon.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Where?
Really?
So it's going to be at the Mary Carter by the golf course.
Okay.
Oh, the pavilion there?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
and it's actually will be, I think, off the pavilion, but more in where the bikers will be, right there. That was the year that they did it that I saw. And then we will be there in the evening with cookies for the people coming back to home, with water and cookies and a small, maybe 3-piece, 2-piece kind of live music kind of thing that will just be. So there'll be water, that, and then a bike tune-up. But if you haven't been part of the Bike to Work Day event, it's really fun. Even if you go down, you can go down to Denver, and as you go down the Mary Carter, our bike path all the way up, there's all these little stations. And so you just, there are always giveaways, and they're doing fun things, and you get down. And then if you get all the way downtown, in the morning, they have a big pancake breakfast with all the bikers. And then even if you stay there in the evening, there's some big
What day is
parties.
Is that a Friday?
Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
So they're trying to get people to
Cool.
actually bike to work.
Yeah.
It was canceled last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
But the Englewood Bacon Station is one of that the city puts on is one of the best.
They have like 3 or 4 different spots that
Really?
they,
Who in the city does that?
I was afraid someone would ask me that because whoever it is just stopped me the other day and said, hey, I want to talk to you about Bike to Work Day. And I said, call me.
Okay,
And I don't remember who it was.
It's
Okay.
Ben Weiss from the South Water.
Renewal,
South
okay.
Platte. Okay,
He's, I guess, the wellness coordinator or
okay,
something.
Okay.
very cool. And we do bacon?
Yeah, well, I love that.
He said he was having a hard time with that kind of thing, but like I said, it is one of the most popular stations, I think, because it's so fun. You know,
Yeah.
You drive by, and you ride by and you stop and get a couple pieces of bacon and then you ride
Very
on.
cool.
Well, and you smell it, you know,
Yeah.
like, it's-
So
Great day to get.
David, can you say the date again for that, please?
it's Wednesday, September 22nd.
Okay.
I might just work from home and bike down there.
Yeah. I think they are a little worried this year that, you know, with so many people working from home, well, they have, in the past, I think they've had like 13,000 registered riders.
Oh, wow.
And the one downtown is this huge party, and it's all a bunch of people on their bikes, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But this year, they're wondering, if, you know, someone
Yeah,
like yourself or myself, you know, that's working, so
Yeah.
you really get out,
yeah.
but they're hoping people.
There's so many more bikers now since COVID, I've noticed.
There are more, there are more.
You can't even buy bikes right now.
I know.
That's for big
Like
bucks,
finding a
don't
bike.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, well,
Anything else from any other commission members? Martin, Julie, Kyle? Okay, I say we adjourn then. Thank you all.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Debbie, for setting up the hybrid.
Yeah.
Much
Yeah, thank you.
appreciated.
Thanks.